Hello, and welcome to our minute-to-minute analysis of Matrix Resurrections. For those of you who are new or have forgotten, this is our series of videos where we analyze every reference, Easter egg, and philosophy or message that is hidden in each scene of the Matrix films. And today we begin with the fourth installment. Matrix Resurrections appeared to be a romance tale mixed with sci-fi elements just like its predecessors, yet behind it hides many secrets that are fun for us to explain.
You have many questions, and though the process has altered your consciousness, you remain irrevocably human. Ergo, some of my answers you will understand, and some of them you will not.
How did Thomas Anderson go from being the one to sacrifice himself for humanity to getting trapped once again in another simulation? And how does this film criticize the current state of the film industry? Welcome to Matrix Explained.
Welcome to the desert of the real.
Matrix 4 came to us as a follow-up to the franchise that featured philosophical themes like what is real, what is purpose, and fate. And this film wastes no time delving into new and familiar concepts. The first scene in the movie is of the iconic falling Matrix code that forms the title, The Matrix. Then the code surprisingly ascends to form the subtitle, Resurrections, which implies that everything repeats itself. At the beginning of each Matrix movie, the theme is usually revealed during the opening scene or intro. In the original Matrix, the words "trace program running" appears, while Trinity and Cypher discuss how Morpheus believes Neo was the one. Already in the first seconds of the film, its theme is explained. The same happens in Matrix Reloaded, Revolutions, and Resurrections. In Matrix Reloaded, the symbols in the intro appear to be words within the Matrix code. It also shows us parts of Mega City and other locations. This intro of the sequel is where we learn the source of the Matrix, revealing its programming secrets, where we learn the truth. Matrix Revolutions shows a big bang of Matrix code in the introduction, but with a golden code. The golden code continues to be one of the biggest mysteries of the Matrix. This mysterious energy, the golden code, is the most important element of Matrix 3 because that's how Neo sees the real world when he arrives at Machine City at the end of the movie, and when he is engulfed by it when he apparently died. As you can see, each movie revealed the main themes of their respective plots during their intros, and Matrix Resurrections continues that tradition. The reason the code falls green and ascends golden is because the cycle has continued. Matrix 4 is about repeating cycles. The source code no longer flows linearly. It is a loop. This is the theme of the movie. Like the classic Matrix, it begins with a conversation with two new individuals, Bugs and Zeke, members of a crew investigating an abnormal code. This code is a program, a simulation whose designation is Moto 101, a clear reference to Neo. Thomas Anderson's apartment number was 101. It is also a reference to Orwell's book 1984. Room 101 was a place that was used to torture people who rejected the dictatorship. A good description of what this Moto 101 is: a simulation that keeps other programs trapped in a loop. It was a type of torture, as we will soon see, and it reaffirms the reference of both 1984 and Neo's apartment. Now the movie makes it clear that someone or something is tracking them. Bugs' conversation with Zeke is eerily similar to Trinity's with Cypher at the beginning of the first movie.
Did you hear that?
Hear what?
Are you sure this line is clean?
Yeah, of course I'm sure.
I better go.
Did you hear that? Shit, I think our signal was traced.
In the new character's conversation, Bugs mentions the old code.
Weird. It's some kind of modal.
Looks like old code.
It feels really familiar.
What code is she referring to? Moving on to the next part, where we see several policemen breaking down doors and finding and cornering an individual who looks to be Trinity sitting down and using a computer. But this is not the same Trinity, nor is it the same scene from the classic movie on repeat. This is another program. For some reason, someone had programmed Trinity's escape in a simulation. We can even see that the hotel where this event takes place is the same hotel from the first movie. Now the three agents arrive, but Agent Smith looks a bit, well, different. But he talks the same as the original Smith.
No, Lieutenant, your men are already dead.
No, Lieutenant. Your men are already dead.
Bugs, the girl with the blue hair, gets into the simulation and sees what happens. Her partner Zeke warns her that the general will be upset if she finds out what they're doing. The general forbade any investigation into these kinds of simulations, but Bugs discovers something interesting. She and her people are well aware of Trinity's history and adventures. It is well known that she escapes the agents. But here, in this simulation, it doesn't end that way. Trinity, not Trinity, is defeated by the agents. Zeke clarifies that this model is a loop programmed to evolved programs. This is extremely important in understanding the purpose of this model. One of the ways to program and teach artificial intelligence is by subjecting it to simulation loops. For example, OpenAI exposed artificial intelligence to multiple matches of the competitive video game Dota. The experiment resulted in the artificial intelligence learning how to play the game. Not only that, it beat the world champions of the game. In other words, OpenAI uses models to train its artificial intelligence. So someone created these programs disguised as Trinity and the agents to evolve them similar to how AI evolves in our world, through repetition. It is no coincidence that the movie begins with the code dropping and then ascending. To add to that, Bugs and Zeke talk about a loop, and we are presented with the general theme of the film, trapped within cycles. This model has been repeated so many times that the agents finally caught Trinity. In other words, the agents in the model learned and evolved. Bugs mentions that everything looks the same, but something is wrong. It looks like a simulation recreating the events from the past. Then Zeke mentions something illuminating.
Why use old code to mirror something new?
I don't know.
What he just said has deeper meanings. The film begins to show different concepts of artificial intelligence development. He talks about loops, and how we can see these loops as fast methods to accelerate evolution. Zeke's comment isn't just a spoof critique, it's a Lana Wachowski critique of the film industry, the first of many criticisms about Hollywood that this film has. Many Matrix fans wanted to see exactly what is shown at the beginning of the movie. Nostalgia, the same thing, but ending a little differently. Replicate the same formula to make it more digestible. The movie industry has become a copy machine for producing the same movies with minimal changes to barely distinguish them from one another. How many Marvel movies are there with an ending involving a portal in the sky that has to be closed to prevent a catastrophe or invasion? Many superhero movies have a portal or two. Matrix Resurrections started with something familiar, scenes from the original Matrix. This was what the industry expected the new Matrix movie to be. But Zeke asked the why. For what purpose? He points out the obvious, that this is not how Trinity's story ended. And Bugs also points out the obvious, that what they are seeing may not be the story they think it is. Many expected that the plot of the new movie would be about the One, and how they would save humanity. But as Zeke asked, why would you create something new out of something old? Bugs is seen and is chased by the new Smith. These agents appear to be weaker compared to the ones in the original movies. They open fire, and Bugs jumps off the roof of the building, and here we see some not very subtle signs. Bugs leaps onto the hotel sign that has the name Anderson on it, Neo's last name, Thomas Anderson, and below it says, "For those who love to eat shit." Understanding the context of what happens in this scene, and everything that was being talked about repeating elements, we're pretty sure of what Lana is referring to with these signs. The spectacle of lights and sparks of fire is what people want, elements that the director herself considers to be of inferior quality. In other words, those who like those kinds of nonsensical shots of explosions love to eat, well, shit, according to Lana. We are beginning to understand why this film created so much division and animosity from some critics and moviegoers. Other signs in the distance light up the words exile and awaken. Exile is the name of the programs that escape the parameters of the Matrix. Awaken is written with symbols similar to the Matrix code, symbolizing that even though you are awake, you are still in the Matrix. These signs could have also been placed by the modal programmer to influence the programs. Bugs falls to the ground and is surrounded by the law, another reference to the original Matrix. She manages to escape the agents. As I mentioned earlier, these agents are not the same as the real ones. They do not appear to have super strength or speed, which allows Bugs to escape with ease. Bugs runs into a locksmith's shop, where we see multiple keys. Obviously, this is a reference to the character the Keymaker from Matrix Reloaded, the program that created keys to enter different places within the simulation. The key shop is open but unsupervised, which could suggest that anyone could enter.
Only the One can open the door, and only during that window can the door be opened.
How do you know all this?
I know because I must know. It is my purpose.
The keys are ready to be used, to enter or to exit. Notice that the keys were left on the door, meaning that Bugs could move freely through this simulation, or that the doors in this simulation were left unlocked on purpose. But just when Bugs was about to face the agents, someone opens the door behind her, the white door that will take her to another part of the simulation. Now the secrets of this model begin to reveal themselves. We have seen these white doors before. They are the back doors that the programs use to move through the simulation.
These are back doors, aren't they? Programmer exits. How do they work?
The code is hidden in tumblers. One position opens a lock. Another position opens one of these doors.
Bugs is grabbed and dragged into another room by Agent Smith, not Smith. He has no intention of harming her, so she asks him if he knows what he is and what is the program that they're in.
Do you know this is a modal?
What's a modal?
It's a simulation used to evolve programs.
Agent Smith, not Smith, reveals that he knows what he is, what he was made for. However, he was compelled to disobey his orders.
I know what I am. Just like I know my job is to hunt down and destroy sentients like you. And yet,
Here we are.
here we are.
Bugs asks him how he got here, and Smith, not Smith, said he entered the shop with no one inside it. He then found the key that led him into this room, Thomas Anderson's apartment. This confirms that there is no keymaker in this model, and that the locksmith shop was left open on purpose. But who created this model, and why did they leave clues for programs to find this room? Well, what if I told you that Neo evolved from the savior to the architect?
Bullshit.
The true purpose of this model, Neo the architect. For Matrix Explained, don't forget to like and subscribe. And thank you for visiting the Desert of the Real.